Story time, folks. I don't even know where to start with this guy. This is going to be a story time on Enzo, okay? I did a few story times about him back in the day. You guys loved it. But, yeah, Enzo, my brother bumped into somebody, actually his cousin. He said, hey, how's Enzo doing? And boom, he called him up on the phone. Enzo's like, yo, how you been? Well, tell your brother I said, what's up? I love you guys, blah, 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 blah. He said, tell your brother to do some more story times. I love story times. So you know what? This one's for Enzo. I'm thinking back on stories with him, and I made a list, and the list just didn't end. I'm like a quarter way through the list. I got like 30 things on the list. I'm like, this could be a book. I'll give you a quick rundown. Enzo was the guy who would, you'd be in the pizzeria, and if you just bought a brand new slice, he would grab the slice and book out and eat it as he's running, and he'd eat your whole slice. You want to kill him, but you still were his friend, I've got a funny one. There was this kid in the neighborhood that he was like one of them cop wannabe guys, So the light broke on Main Street and the LIE. If you look that up, that's in Flushing. So he's up there and he's directing traffic. Like he's like such a wannabe cop that he's actually directing traffic. So Enzo starts making fun of him. He's like, oh, what are you directing traffic? Jerk off. The guy, he's like, yeah, Enzo. So Enzo runs up behind him and pushes him. He goes flying. So the kid approaches Enzo and he goes, Enzo, I'm making a citizen's arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say. With that, Enzo pulls out a blackjack and cracks this kid right over his head, splits his fucking head open. The kid goes down. People are helping him up. He's almost getting run over by cars. But that was Enzo. And another time we're in the Hamptons. And we're young. We just got back from the beach. We're dying, sweating, losing our minds. And the locals didn't like us coming out there because the Hamptons is beautiful. So in the summer, people would come out. We party. We, get a hotel or whatever. We just go out there. And so we're driving after the beach. And, we're exhausted. So there's a guy going slow in front of me on purpose, and I'm losing my mind. He could see that I'm going crazy. I'm screaming. I'm like trying to pass him. He won't let. He's going over to the left. I'm like, this guy's got to be kidding me. I'm like, why is he doing this? Well, he was just probably a local that hated us. Anyway, so he pulls off to go into like a parking lot to a store or whatever, and as he does, he goes. I'm like, no. I pull over. I get out. I had a bat in the car. Who goes to the Hamptons with a bat in the car? Me. Anyway, so now I go out there. I got the bat and I'm ready to crack the guy, right? Enzo runs past me like I'm going like this with the bat and cracks this guy, bang, right on his eye. I saw the guy's eye just go and just close. I said, oh, nice. That was Enzo. Boom. We get in the car, we leave. And let me tell you, if they caught us for that, doing that to a local out there, they would have hung us. No bail. It would have been a disaster. Another time he pulls up to the schoolyard, we're all hanging out, and his window broke. So his passenger side, his driver's side window was broken. So I go, yo, it's gonna rain or whatever. So he goes and gets a black garbage bag and covers the whole window. So he comes back. I said, Enzo, you can't see. I said, you got a black. Now it was a 2-door Firebird, so you don't have like a back window. You just can't see. He goes, I'm okay, don't worry about it. The next day he comes back, the car's totaled. I'm like, what happened? He's walking. I couldn't see past the garbage bag. I said, I told you now. What's the matter with you? Are you out of your mind? Oh my God. Another time, he borrows his sister's car. Right? His sister was a sweetheart, nice girl. Never bothered anybody. So he borrows her car, or maybe he just took it. I have no idea. So next thing you know, whoop, 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 the cops are behind him. He turns around. Boom, he nails it. He just goes. Gets into, a high-speed chase all over New York City in his sister's car. And he ends up losing control and hitting a tree. Bang, he fucking hits a tree. Gets out, starts running. Now, Enzo was the type of kid. Enzo was ripped to the bone. His abs, each ab had striations. I never saw anything like it in my life. Shredded to the bone, nothing but muscle, but not a big guy, but just ripped and crazy. He reminded me of that Arturo Gatti, that fighter, that kind of build, that kind of look, that really Italian kid, you know? And so he books it. The cops catch him. They crack his nose, break his nose with a nightstick, lock him up, the whole bit. Totaled his sister's car, whatever. It doesn't end with him. Like, oh, then there was another guy I spoke about, Charlie Rhoda. Charlie Rhoda was a nut, and Enzo was a nut. So they didn't like each other because they were both crazy. So we would egg them on, and we'd be like, we say to Charlie, yeah, Enzo's way crazier than you. I don't, if on a scale of 1 to 10, he's like an 11. You're probably like a 7. Yeah, and he had a high-pitched voice. Yeah, Enzo ain't crazier than me. I'd be like, ah. Then we'd see Enzo and be like, yeah, Charlie Rhoda said he's crazier than you. So, yeah, okay, Charlie Rhoda's not crazy than me. You're crazy than me. Charlie Rhoda's not crazy than me. I go, whatever. That's what we think. We did like a comparison on who's crazier, we think. So now they each think the other guy's crazier, and now they're mad. So we go out one night, and it's like 3, 4 in the morning, and we're in downtown Flushing. And it's like deserted because, everybody's home. Any normal person's home. So they're in the car together. So we start egging them on. Who's crazier? Next thing you know, Charlie Rhoda throws it in park, and they get out to fight. Enzo was like 2 days out of the hospital. He had open heart surgery. He had this really cool scar that went from his the side of his chest all the way around his back. He used to tell girls he got bit by a shark. But when he was a baby, he had a little heart problem, like a valve or something. I don't even know. And then they had to replace it when he got older. The kid is fresh out of open heart surgery. We're like, yo, you can't fight. Gets out of the car. Charlie Rhoda! We got Charlie Rhoda! And he's fast. He's like, come on, Charlie Rhoda! He's like throwing jabs. I'm like, Enzo, you're going to die. You're going to die like right here. Charlie, yeah, I'll kill you. So who's holding Charlie? Who's holding Enzo back? They swung a little bit. I'm like, yo, he's actually like, and he's like, oh, my chest. Oh, my heart. Oh, yeah, Charlie Rhoda. Oh, my heart. I think he almost died right on Main Street. And we're young, we're teenagers, man. And it never ended, man. It never ended with this kid. Another thing, he comes by the schoolyard with his parents' car. His parents had a Regal, maybe if I had to say, it was like an 81, 82. And they had a Cutlass like the same year. They were nice little cars. So he would come over to the schoolyard, and he would neutral drop these cars. But not just neutral drop, he would redline them. Boom, and throw it into drive and do these great burnouts. So he's doing this for a few days. I'm like, Enzo, you're going to break their car. Like, no problem. Watch. Boom. And he's just doing a sick burnout. Next thing you know, he comes by the schoolyard like 2 days later. He goes, is this bad? He's revving the car. Like a rod. Nah, he blew their motor. I go, Enzo, you blew their engine. Their engine, what? You serious? I go, no. You blew their engine. It's over. The engine is toast. I don't know what he did. If he brought it home, just hid the keys, I have no idea. This one's a classic, too. I'm sitting home minding my business one day, and I hear my doorbell ring. So I go to the door. I'm probably like 17 years old. He was a little bit old. He's probably 18. I'm 17. And he's got a can of gas. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm going to burn so-and-so's car. I go, what? Yeah, I'm going to burn their car right now. He had a fight with this kid, an argument. So he's going to go there and burn this kid's car. I said, whoa, wait a second. He put the can of gas down, come inside, relax. I said, the kid now this kid lives on my block, but he's down my block. He's passing my house from the gas station. I said, Enzo, I go, where's his car? He's in his driveway. I said, in his driveway? I said, you're going to burn his house? You may burn the whole block down. I said, this is one of them driveways where you could hardly open the door to get out of the car. That's how close you were to the other house. I said, Enzo, you're going to burn the neighborhood to the ground. I said, calm down. Give me the gas. I put the gas in my backyard. I said, you're not burning anything. He thanked, to this day, when he sees me, oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Almost ended up in jail for arson. Thank you. I appreciate it. Of course. That's what I do for my friends. Another time, we're driving to Atlantic City. We decide, let's go to Atlantic City. So we get in my car. I had a Mitsubishi Starion. It was beautiful. 1989. It was black. It was gorgeous. And it was fast. A little 4-cylinder turbo. It was quick back in the day, stick shift. So we start going to Atlantic City. So we're always breaking balls. So Enzo was popping me in the back of the head, punching me. I'm like, he's sitting behind me. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna kill you? So every time he hit me, that's why you don't strike in the back of the head in MMA. I'm telling you, every time I saw stars, I go, yo, you're dead. Boom, I pull over. I open the back door, pull my seat forward, bam, I'm just blasting him, beating the living shit out of him, and as best I can. And in all fairness, I'm like twice his size at the time. I'm lifting weights. I'm a monster. You've seen the pictures. I'll probably post it in the thumbnail. I'm wailing on him. Stop. So what happens is, if I figure give him a beating, he's gonna, he's good. We go back on the road, bang, he does it again. Now, when you're going to Atlantic City, for those of you guys who aren't from around here, you have to stop. There's like 5 tolls. Like you have to put, back in the day it was like 35 cents, just throw the money in the thing. And now everything's easy pass, as you know. Every time we stop the toll, I put the car in neutral, brake on, and I beat the living shit out of him. The toll guys must have been like, what the hell's going on here? Like I had a bad kid in the back, but I'm beating him senseless, like with everything I have. But this was Enzo. I go, as soon as I get through the toll, bang, hits me. I said, okay. We roll the window. Now, you got to understand, it's like 20 degrees. It's like February in New York, okay? And, of course, we're going into Jersey. We put the windows down, and me and my friend in the front blast the heat. So we're leaning against the heat like this, right? And we got the heat kicking, and it's Stuntman and Enzo in the back. And Stuntman's like, yo, stop. You're pissing him. He's going to kill you. He's going to kill you. He knew how I was. We went 120 miles an hour with the windows down, with the 2 of them in the back. So now we get Stuntman involved. Like, make him say sorry. So he won't say sorry. He says sorry. Stuntman's hitting him. Come on, we're going to die. They're back there freezing to death. We drove probably for an hour with the windows down at, I can't tell you how fast. Could you imagine what that icicles coming off their noses? But anyway, that's what you do. That's what you do to your friends when they want to jap you in the back of the head and get wise. I'm telling you, they had to like thaw out when we got to Atlantic City. Then there was another time when I told this in a story time, so I'll tell it fast. But for those of you who didn't hear it, Stuntman's hanging out with a girl. There's something called the soccer field in Queens, and he's minding his business, he's chilling. But it's like secluded as hell, and it's nighttime. And these biker dudes end up strolling into the park. It's like 4 or 5 of them, right? And they get wise with him. He's like, yeah, I'll be back. They're like, yeah, come back. What are you gonna do? Then they were older. I mean, he was probably 16 at the time. Didn't have a car, so he's walking on foot. And so now he comes back to the neighbors like, yo, these bikers started with me, blah, 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 blah. I said, where are they? Let's go. We're going to take by the soccer field. I said, okay. And now not a lot of time passed. So we get Enzo, a couple other guys, and we go back to the park. And we roll, and they're sitting on the bleachers by the cement bleachers. They're still there. It's crazy. Like, this is 40 years ago, guys. So Enzo grabs a bat. And I just had hands. My brother had hands. The other kids had hands. So it's probably like 5 of us, 5 of them. Enzo takes the bat and is swinging with everything he's got on their heads. He's beating, as we're beating them up and getting them down, and he's just coming over with the bat and just destroying them. So these guys are like laid out. One of them gets up and he runs. Enzo chases him, and we chase him down, me and Enzo. Enzo's hit, and I wasn't thinking at the time, because I'm like, he's going to kill this guy, I mean, I'm all for a bat beating, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He is hitting this guy with, I go, Enzo, stop. You're going to kill this fucking guy. He is going to die. He's like, oh, you fucking, boom. You don't fuck with my friend. You don't fuck with my friend. You don't destroying this guy. The shins, the body, the head. He's like going head to toe, toe to head, Finally, I stop him. Guy's just out, unconscious, done. We get in the car, we leave. Ah, nice. Like all in a day's work. It was pretty normal, honestly, but, whatever. We weren't that normal as kids, but to us, that was kind of normal to take care of a situation. And so time goes by, whatever, we're all hanging out, and we go, they used to hang out at this bar called the Caramia, which was on Casina. If you guys look it up, the bar, Casina and like the Long Island Expressway. There's a Dunkin' Donuts there. Anyway, so we go there, and we go for like a beer run or something. And they recognize him. I'm like, oh my God. They're like, you're Enzo. We might have said, yo, Enzo, get blah, blah, blah. And they heard it, you know, and they're like, Enzo. I'm like, oh my God, there's motorcycles lined up. Look at a movie. I'm like, we're dead. But I told this in a story time too. I said, we're dead. So long story short, one of the guys I was with was a pretty good talker. And he ended up talking these guys down and be like, nah, man, it wasn't him. This is, you know, he's Italian. There's a few Enzo guys, you know, because I don't know if it was dark that night or whatever. I don't know if they got a good look at him. But how many kids named Enzo, you know? And we ended up talking it out. These guys shaking hands. Yo, whenever you need, we're always here, man. We're like, yeah, we're the same way. You got any problems, man? We're always by the hill, by the schoolyard. You come around. We were this close to getting, like, probably shot, stabbed, beat up by these bikers. And there was probably 35 of them, at least. But that was just another night with Enzo. Then there's another time I'm over by that same area, right? Which it just seemed to be trouble. It was, you know, one of them like areas where it's got the candy store, the pizzeria, the Dunkin'. It's just trouble all hours of the night. So for whatever reason, we're driving. It was one of them things where it could have jumped off like that at any time. So somebody's looking at us. What the fuck are you looking at? What the fuck are you looking at? So next thing you know, we get out. And there's just two guys. And there's three of us and two of these guys. But these guys are men. We're like 17-year-old kids. And they get out of the car. My one friend starts throwing down with the driver. I mean, just so I see that. I'm like, okay, boom. And now I'm looking over at his buddy. This big ass, like, Albanian guy. Like, you know, like these big Albanian, nothing against Albanians. I'm complimenting you guys. But, like, you could just beat on an Albanian and they don't even feel it. And I'm looking at this guy. He's like 6 foot something or other. And I'm like, this is a problem. But I'm squaring off with the guy. I'm like, all right, here we go. And he's coming at me. Enzo goes up behind him and puts his now he was like not known as an athlete, never played any sports or anything, but he puts his shoulder into the smaller guy's back and grabs his shins and dumps him forward toward me. The guy falls, bang, flat on his face, and like he's hurt. And me and Enzo get on top of this guy and beat, because we're doing it because we don't want the guy getting up. We beat this guy with everything we have. Bang, 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 bang. But if he didn't do that, I had a serious problem. Enzo came through right there. One time he comes by my house, it's a snowstorm. And he honks the horn. And he's in like a duster, an old duster, Plymouth Duster. And I'm like, yo, where'd you get this car? Because I bought it from a guy, $100. I'm like, what? So anyway, it's got a flat. So we're driving on a flat on the rear. I'm like, dude, where are we going? On a flat. I said, you know what? Go by the Van Wyck. They dump tires there all the time. Maybe we'll get lucky. Listen, I swear to God. And Enzo will verify this. We pull up to a pile of tires and I look and there's a tire on a rim and I go, and now that duster had like a big round, I remember like it was yesterday, like the centerpiece was big and round. It had to fit over something. If you duster guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not bullshitting. And we go there and I see a rim. I'm like, yo, that looks like it could fit. Sure enough, I rolled over. I'm like looking at the lug pad. I'm like, Enzo, I think this could fit. Tire's got air and everything. That wasn't the best tire. Obviously got thrown out. So jack up the car. There was a lug nut wrench in there with a jack. Boom, boom, boom. Change the tire. Boom, we're in business. So now we're shooting around. So he goes, that was by like the side of Van Wyck by like Jewel Avenue. There's a park over there right before you get to the Jewel Avenue exit. We're coming from like the Bronx side through Queens. We're heading south. Put the tire on. We go up around Jewel, and he floors it. We're flying in the snow, right? And he loses control. I'm like, yo. The thing starts going sideways, and I'm looking at a boulder. I'm like, yo. And the car hit the curb and stopped right before the boulder. I'm like, dude, you almost killed us. So then that was nothing. Boom, go. Just keep going. As any one of you guys would have did the same thing. Boom, we start flying. Now we go to the schoolyard. We're in the schoolyard, and they like the janitor used to plow the schoolyard, that little thing he drove on. So the schoolyard was clean. We go in the schoolyard, donuts, whatever. Then what he does is he drives up. There were two basketball nets, poles with the nets. There's no net. They're just a hoop. The nets are always gone. So he goes and he runs into the pole, and the pole goes like this, and it hits like a big fence. So it pulls on like an angle like this. He's taking the car and going up the pole, boom, back, up the pole. I'm telling you, we probably had 3 or 4 feet of air underneath the back of the car. Boom, coming down, and then he parks it there, and I'm looking, I'm like, yo, Enzo, if this thing goes, we're dead. He's like, boom, boom. Everybody's there, they're looking at us, and you guys are out of your minds. Finally, he just drives it off, and we just leave. But that was just another day in a little duster. He bought it for $100, good deal. Just a little something about Enzo. There are a lot of characters in my neighborhood, a lot of characters. A lot of guys that did good for themselves, too. But Enzo's doing good. He's in Florida, I believe, minding his business, and, you know, listen, these stories are 40 years old. Could you imagine this? Crazy. I can't, like, I think back, I can't even believe it. But anyway, listen, more story time to come. More Enzo stories, too. If you want Enzo stories, it doesn't end. It's just, it does. If I met him, if I hung out with him today, there'd be a new Enzo story. Pretty much guaranteed. But I'd have to keep him calm, you know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, subscribe. You guys been asking for story times, and here's a good story time for you guys.